Difficult.
Difficult.
Difficult. Difficult. Difficult. Difficult. Difficult.
Women.
What's a female cat called? Is there a word?
Pussy?
No. That's not right.
Is that how we're starting?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking like a dog's a bitch, right? So
Right.
what's a cat? It's not pussy. Pussy is not gender neutral. It's allowed. Anyway, I'm Katie.
Hi, I'm Marie. These are the things we talk about
Yeah.
endlessly.
Welcome to
This
Difficult Women.
This time we have microphones in front of us.
Absolutely.
Yes. Hi. You're listening to Difficult Women. That's difficult to say. Difficult. It's early. Okay. I haven't had my coffee. Difficult Women podcast. That's us. We're in a band called Reformed Whores.
Check it out.
We have a holiday sweatshirt y'all should be
Oh
purchasing.
my gosh. Yeah. Down with capitalism, but also buy our dick sweatshirt. It's pretty good.
There's so many dicks on it.
There's so many dicks on
So
it.
when you go home for the holidays this year, you could be wearing a plethora of dicks.
Or you could buy one for grandma.
Oh
Oh my God. That'd be amazing.
I should get one for Great Aunt Betty.
She would love it.
She would.
Yeah. How old is she now?
104.
Jeez Louise. Well, actually, that's topical. We'll get into it later, but that's right
That's
on
true.
topic.
Awesome.
Anyway, what else is new with you?
Nothing.
Yeah. I know. It's that time of year. I'm kind of ready for the holidays to be over. I'm not going to lie. I know they kind of just started, but
Do you like the decorations in my
it's
house?
beautiful.
You can't see it, folks, because you're
One string light.
there's
That's literally what it is.
there's what? No, behind you. They're on the plant
Oh,
too.
I see.
I don't
It's
have
like
a tree. My roommate was like, "Are we going to get a tree this year?" And I was like, "They're so expensive."
They
She's
are
like, "How
so
much are they?"
expensive.
It's like $40.
The ones in
The
my
tiny
house are
ones.
50.
50.
Yeah, and they're small, but they're still expensive.
Wait,
I still want to get one though. I
The
think we're all
ones
gonna-
in your house, you have multiple
No,
trees?
no, the ones. Did I say my house?
Yeah.
I'm a little like loopy
think.
today. The ones in my neighborhood. I
Oh.
meant to say.
I
The
was like,
ones,
how
all the
many?
ones in my house are $50. I'm just like, you can't really get into the house anymore. I sleep in the hallway, but the house smells great.
I love it. No, I'm excited to go home for the holidays because my nephews are going to be there.
Oh, that's exciting.
And they're walking.
Uh-oh. Watch
Babies
out.
start walking. Babies kind of creep me out, but especially when they start walking because they look just like shit-faced.
Yeah,
They're just like drunk little
doodles.
people.
my friend's baby. He's so cute. I saw him like 2 weeks ago, and then I saw him again last night, and I swear to God, he's grown in the 2 weeks. It's the
Oh, yeah.
craziest thing.
That's fun.
It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, that's the thing about
They grow
babies.
fast.
They get big.
Yeah, he's cute.
They're
though.
cooler when they're older. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, like when they're 30. And then you're like getting drinks and stuff with them. It's always good.
Oh, it's true. It's fun. What's happening? I don't know.
Well, you know, well, speaking of babies,
Yeah.
we've been getting some comments. We've talked about this before. We've been talking about this before on the podcast, but there's this one episode we did about incels, and God bless them, they keep listening to the episode, and then
Yeah.
they just want to comment shitty things.
I love that these men are listening to our podcast because that's what that means. But then they go on YouTube and then comment.
They're just like hate listening. We got the reason why this comes up is just a couple days ago, we got another message.
So right now,
We're going to start off with a
troll time.
Cool.
Real cool.
So this guy says, Jay Smith, he says, remember guys, talk to the women in high school who are considered losers, etc., or they'll end up like this. Us, presumably.
Hey.
Where's Peterson when you need him? Back to Jordan Peterson. These guys love that Jordan Peterson.
Wow. That's so nice.
It's so nice. You know, I don't know.
I was not a loser in high school.
I mean, I was, but
No.
that's beside the point.
Wait, sidebar. I saw you posted pictures of yourself in your suit.
Oh, right. If you haven't, I guess everybody missed it if you didn't. See, you should follow us on Instagram. You'll see all this great content that you're missing.
Right.
But I posted pictures of the suit.
I cannot believe you can fit into your freaking suit from high
I was
school.
actually kind of excited. It definitely was. I couldn't walk in one of the skirts, but I got it on.
Well, so yes, so our beauty pageant episode, we talk about our past histories of actually trying to do something similar to pageants, and Katie had sewn a suit
couple suits
for the
fashion review.
Yes, for
4-H fashion review.
And so she posted these pictures of herself in high school in these suits, and they were adorable.
Yeah.
And then the fact that you can,
and I put them back on. I found them. I was away for Thanksgiving, and I put all 3 suits back on. These are when I was like 15, 16 years old,
and
I can kind of get into them again. I mean, I'm not comfortable, but they're on. I don't know.
I have a pair of jeans. I actually just gave them away after looking at those photos because I tried to put them on and they can't even get over my knees, basically.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, it's time to just give those up. But good job.
Yeah.
Congrats.
I don't know. Thanks. I think it's all the crying I've been doing. Just I'll lose all the water weight.
No.
Just kidding. I'm not crying that much. Not more than usual.
You're not crying over these incels, I hope.
Oh God, no. No. That would be the last. I would cry over. You know what I did cry over? Have you seen Mike Birbiglia's new special?
No.
It's called The New One. It's about him having a baby. Not him having a baby, but his wife having a baby, them having a baby.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it.
Oh.
But I was like, I'm so torn about whether I want to have a baby or not. And I found myself laughing really hard and then it turning into that sobbing, when you're like, oh God.
Oh, that's good
I don't
theater.
have a baby.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it, except that I did sob laugh through the entire thing. I think it's just a me problem though. I'm not sure anyone else would feel the way, but I thought it was great. I liked it.
Speaking of crying, I've been watching Dolly Parton's Heartstrings on Netflix. It's so good, bad. So it'll be lots of laughing and then just sobbing. I mean, more sobbing. It's really sad.
Ugh.
They go real intense. It's like a Lifetime movie, but 10 Lifetime movies because it's 10 episodes or 9 episodes.
And it's her life?
Well, no. So I guess they take her songs. Each episode is a song, and then it's a story or whatever that she has written or it's based on, and then they do a full episode on it.
Amazing.
And she's in every episode. It's so funny too because it'll be they
just
open a door and then there's
she's like the barista at Starbucks.
No, my favorite episode though. I mean, it really gets pretty diverse and controversial. I don't know, but there's one episode where it's this man comes out to his family, and then his sister. They find out she's an actress. Oh my God, heaven forbid!
Oh God, it's worse.
Yeah, it's terrible. But everything's tied up with a ribbon and bow at the very end, and then they all go to this wedding, and then who's the performer at the wedding is Dolly Parton.
How much do those people have?
I know. It's so
expensive.
He's like, I met her at work, and so I just asked her.
And she was like, okay, I got nothing better to do. Can you imagine?
I know. Can you imagine?
Oh my God. I bet she's going to get a lot of emails now being like, can you do mine?
Can you do mine? I'm just asking.
Just wondering.
But anyway, I love it. And then I also just adore all the Hallmark movies and all the silly...
So you're excited about the holidays?
Okay, yeah, I am. I love it.
Well, speaking of holidays, if you need to get gifts for your loved ones, we have a suggestion beyond our own merch. Take it away, Uz. Free stuff is awesome, but free stuff to spice up your bedroom is even better.
Select almost any one item for 50% off, and then Adam and Eve loads on the free stuff.
Enter offer code HORIO at checkout and get 10 tantalizing free gifts.
A sexy item for him, a special gift for her, and a third item you'll both enjoy.
And 6 free spicy movies.
Ooh. Plus, free shipping.
That's HORIO, WHOREO, HORIO at adamandeve.com. Okay, so Marie later in the future she had mentioned.
Oh man, my head is spinning. What's happening? Let me have more coffee.
I was trying to say that earlier you mentioned that your Aunt Betty's 104 years old.
Yes.
Which is incredible.
It is crazy. And you know why she's that old?
Whiskey.
Yep.
Yeah, I knew that's what you were going to say.
She has a pint of whiskey every day. It's great.
Man, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
But that's becoming a thing, right? People are living longer and longer for various reasons, healthcare and all that stuff. But today we wanted to talk about the potential of living forever. Ooh.
Oh, God.
I mean, it's been a thing, right? Where people have been trying to find ways. The fountain of youth, the concept of the fountain of youth has been around since humans.
Yeah, people searching the globe for this fountain of youth or the elixir. Mm-hmm. Right? In Chinese culture, there was an emperor that sent 500 young men and 500 young women to search for this elixir that would, bring back so he could live forever. And the 1,000 people, they never saw him again.
Oh, they all died.
They were like, yeah, sure, we'll go get your elixir.
Where did he think they were going to find that elixir?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's so funny.
He had heard rumors that it was like around the corner.
It's like, can you go down to the bodega and see if they got that? They do have that like 24-hour energy drink. It's like almost
oh
like
God, that stuff will make me crazy.
I can't.
So
there's the elixirs in China, and then Fountain of Youth stories all throughout. Lots of stories. I don't know anything specific.
And then also, I mean, the Egyptians, didn't they mummify them to?
That's a good point.
Then
live forever. Yeah, I think that is true. So you'd mummify not everybody, but the important people.
The important people with their cats too.
Yep, those cats were more important than the other people.
When I die, do not bury Olive with me. I will
oh my God.
I'll come back and haunt you.
Oh man, I'm going to erase that part from the pod and then I'm going to be like, that's what Marie wanted.
No.
No, that'd be so
no
mean.
Olive.
That would be mean. So there's historic whatever, and then what was it, the 1920s or 30s? There was some. What was that story?
In the 1920s, a Russian scientist thought he could prolong life by sewing a piece of monkey testicle to a human's.
Where did they sew them onto?
Onto the human's testicle, I think. Huh. I mean, I guess you'd have to be a man. Wait, that's not.
Well, that's typical.
That's typical.
But I wonder why.
Even more shockingly, at least 300 people underwent the procedure.
Yikes.
Would you sew a monkey's testicle to you so you could live longer?
Where would I have to sew it to?
Your butt.
I don't know, maybe my elbow. If I can get monkey balls hanging off my elbow, I'd be like, yes, let's do it. I don't even have to live forever. I'll just do it.
Go home for the holidays. I'll show you some jingle balls.
What if I sewed into my chin?
And then you live forever.
Well,
that's a good question.
Monkey balls on your chin.
Would you live forever with monkey balls on your chin?
I don't know.
Wow.
I have to think about it.
But then also I read another thing even earlier than that. I don't know what he would call him. A scientist? I don't know. Would grind up, people back in history would grind up testicles, like dog testicle or animal testicles.
What's up with the testicles?
I don't know. I think that they think because they're creating life, maybe they then can
so they
keep
grind
it
up
forever.
testicles and
you drink it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
It's like Tang.
Wang.
Exactly.
Gross. I don't.
So people go to crazy lengths. I mean, historically, people
because they want to just keep living forever and ever.
So here's the thing that's like kind of crazy, and I don't know. Like, I'm sure in like the 20s or with that Russian guy, he was like, "No, listen, guys, I promise. Like, this is the way to do it," and people believed it.
I'm 115 years old. He's wearing balls for earrings.
Yeah, just got monkey balls hanging off every part of his body. Just like,
oh, maybe we should get our stylist to do that instead of fringe. We'll just be doing.
That's such a good idea. Just monkey balls everywhere.
So great.
But anyway, so yes, so there have been all these like people throughout history trying to say, no, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. But now we have a new crop of scientists and people sort of declaring that they've found ways for us to live together. And you know what, guys? It's looking more possible.
Anything's possible nowadays,
with
the cloud.
Yeah. And science.
And yeah.
Well, one way that they were talking about was actually your physical body being able to live forever. And that there are these medications that scientists have been looking into.
Right.
That mostly they've been looking into this stuff to not so much to live forever, but to just make your life more livable into old age, especially as people are living longer. Mm-hmm. So that, a lot of people like doctors and scientists and things are looking into ways to make your end of life more comfortable, really. So if they can eliminate things like Alzheimer's or osteoporosis or anything that just makes you, because living to 104 isn't so great if you're not feeling so great.
Yeah, that would be the worst. It's you're a little vegetable and then you're still alive.
What's the point? I mean, yeah. So I don't remember the names of these drugs.
Rapamycin?
Rapamycin? Oh, is that right?
Ooh, mimosas. So just drink a mimosa. We're not doctors. We don't really know, but just drink a mimosa
every day.
Right when you wake up, and you'll live forever.
Well, look, listen. There was 2 drugs. It doesn't really matter what they're called. You can look it up if you want. I don't know.
Again, we're not scientists.
We're not scientists.
Rapamycin.
Okay. What was the
That's
other one?
one.
Called? The
Mimosas.
I can't remember which each one. There's some studies that have been done. So besides like all the medicine and stuff, there's all these people that are trying to optimize their lives and live as long as possible. And one of the ways people have prolong their lives, and they found that this actually works, is if you restrict your calorie intake. That actually, there is some proof that that's been helpful.
How
for
many
longevity.
calories can you have?
Like 5. I don't know. I did watch a thing about this like 10 years ago or something, and these people that just don't eat a lot, they really eat like, I don't know, like 800 calories a day or something, and they're very thin and they don't look good. But I guess
like
they're
a bagel.
yeah, probably.
Cool.
It's like a bagel with some cream cheese, and then
Okay, done.
and then maybe you ration it throughout the day. I don't really know how that works. It doesn't seem like we are not promoting that as that we are not doctors.
No.
Just a reminder. But some people do that, and there has been some proof as to that is used that helps you live longer. So they found this drug that will basically mimic those calorie restriction in your body. So you can eat as much as you want, but then your body only takes into account, it says like, oh, I'm only seeing this many calories or whatever, again.
Wow, sounds like a diet pill or a speed or something.
Yeah, but it like does something actually in your cells versus like a diet pill. I think it's like you
just shit yourself.
Exactly. You just shit yourself a lot, or you pee too much or whatever.
Again, we're not doctors.
No, please don't take these diet pills. We definitely do not promote that. But so anyway, but part of the reason why they were studying these things again was more for eliminating some of these other illnesses that cause death,
right? As
opposed to like living forever. But there's now thoughts that by working on these like cells in this way, that you could potentially prolong your life indefinitely. And the other one that I thought was interesting was that one of the reasons why we get sick and die is that we have some cells that, our cells are like multiplying constantly. Some of them multiply and then do their thing and then they die and no big deal. But then there's a lot, especially as you get older, that like stop functioning like they're supposed to, but they don't fully die. They're called like zombie cells.
Right.
So they just kind of like stay around in your body. And that's they're thinking that things like cancer can be caused by these zombie cells. So scientists were thinking, hey, if we can actually kill off the zombie cells, then we can eliminate that as a problem. And they're finding that that's true, that if you can get rid of the zombie cells, then a lot of these diseases that come up later in life just go away entirely. So you could be living this like in theoretically, if you can keep the cells rejuvenating in a way that they did when you were 20, it's like, why, short of getting hit by a bus, like why wouldn't you be able to just live through
How do you kill zombie cells?
You shoot them in the brain. No, some medication or something. I don't know.
Again, we are not doctors.
I don't know.
We're in a comedy band.
Yeah.
Oh, but this subject is so fun. See, you got kind of into like the medicine portion of it. I stopped when I read that you could freeze your brain.
What's that about?
Well, so there's all these companies now that you can pay so much money. I believe it's $200,000 to freeze your entire body. And then for the cheap price for $80,000, you can just freeze your brain.
Oh, God.
And these companies, I mean, it's when you're reaching death, or like when you are approaching death, I think in the medical field, or what am I trying to say? They have to work so fast in order to preserve your body.
Oh, right.
I don't know how that works. If you have to call these people and be like, okay, I think I'm going to be dying, or, I guess hospice, or I don't know what, but they have like 35 minutes to do what they need to do in order to really get, a high percentage of freezing your body, in order to then hopefully in the future, or aliens maybe will come and take your brain or body and figure it out. But people really do truly believe that in the future, by preserving your body and your brain, people in the future will then be able to take your body, your brain, and revive it.
Did you ever listen to that This American Life podcast where it was a story of this guy who, it was like he was meaning well, but it didn't go very well, where he thought the same. This is like in the 80s though, or somewhere in the 90s. He was like, I'm gonna cryogenically freeze everybody and then we'll revive you later. So people were paying all this money for it. And then
the generator went out.
Yeah, I mean, kind of, yeah. Something went wrong. And then he like kept taking more bodies, but he didn't actually have places to put them. So he was like piling them on top of each other in this one like unit. And like at one point he forgot to close it. And then like it didn't, it's like leaving your refrigerator open with all the like breast milk or something when you're trying to pump. I mean, they went bad. And then he kept telling people, everything was fine. Your loved one is still frozen and all this stuff. And so he finally had to come clean at some point about it. But like, cause there's so many levels as to why that's disappointing. Cause one, it's horrible to think about your loved one like not being taken care of properly after death, but also that you were thinking like, oh, I'm going to see grandpa again one day because they're going to revive him. And he just totally flubbed the whole thing. So it didn't even work out. So freezing, huh?
Yeah. But a lot of people are signing up for it. Yeah. This company in Arizona that provides it like a streaming service. Hear me out. It's like $15 a month. I mean, I guess it's like a life insurance type policy, but I see it as like, you know, you pay for your Netflix, you pay for your freezing your brain. Mm-hmm. It's only like $15 a month. Mm-hmm. Forever.
Who pays for that though when you're dead?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they take some of your estate.
What if it takes 600 years to get through this technology, but they keep you frozen? Like your great-great-grandchildren are like, I'm paying $15 a month for this person I've never even met. Like, no, forget that. The chances of them like not wanting to follow through on that are pretty high.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I was watching this video of this woman. It occurred to her in college that she could freeze her body. And so she just started paying for it as early as 21 years old.
What if you get hit by a bus?
I mean, yeah.
I don't get it. I don't know. That's not for me. I'm not going to freeze my body.
Just freeze half your brain and see what happens.
No thanks. Well, speaking of like all of this stuff, right? So this is all physical body stuff, right? We're trying to either revive your brain itself physically or revive your body physically if they can or whatever. By the way, do they have any sense that they're going to actually be able to do this? Or is it more just like, we'll freeze it and we'll see what happens?
No proof. No.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So
no.
just
how can they prove? In theory, they truly believe that in the future we will have, futurists really do
believe this. So,
yeah.
But they don't have, their company isn't doing the research, right? They're just like, we're just going to freeze you and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. So,
and they have 8 people working for them.
That's not a lot of people.
I know. That's what I was thinking. I was like, wow, they have like 300 bodies. And so how many people? Oh, 8. Huh. Could you imagine being one of the 8 going to work?
This is like that guy, though. I'm telling you that story from This American Life. He was like him and like 2 other people. And then he was like, oops, shit. I'm like, I can't do it. And then he like fucked it up. So anyway, I don't trust that.
Well, the crazy thing is I found this one company in Arizona and then another one someplace else that was half the price. And it's like, is there a coupon for this?
I know.
Maybe we'll see it on Groupon. Groupon free. I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's that, right?
Freezing. Yes.
So, and that's all physical body stuff. Here's the thing that I really hadn't thought very much about and is a whole other concept. So I can understand why people might be like, oh, I don't want to bring my body back. Like, or what does that mean? Or how do you do that? Or living forever. And there's lots of things about that. There's there's 2 levels to this. With robotics now, they're saying there are ways to like preserve your brain somehow into a robot. And this one article I was reading was comparing it. They were saying with all this technology around sex robots, which is our favorite topic.
God.
that the body and things, there's all these things that the robots are getting really realistic in terms of like your physical body. So imagine then if we took Marie's brain and put it in a sex robot. It's like, Marie,
hello.
Yeah, but
I don't do blowjobs.
Just talk normal or whatever. I don't even.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's like uploading your brain, your memories, your thoughts to
a robot.
The cloud too. They call it.
So there's 2 things there. Oh. So one is you get uploaded into a robot, like a physical robot who walks around, and you're like, I get to hang out with you still or whatever.
So it's like a hard drive that's
I have no idea how this works. I can't understand how you take your brain and download it anywhere. But they're working on it. I guess
they're working on it. By 2050, they think it's going to happen.
Totally.
Which is in
very
30
soon.
years, which is crazy.
They said if you're
In our lifetime.
for sure. This one article was saying like if you're under 40 and reading this article, you can live forever. And I was like, huzzah! This is great. Gonna make it.
Monkey balls and all.
Oh yes, perfect. But so there's this like android thing, right?
Okay.
Where there's robots walking around
Being us.
We are robots then,
Right.
right? But then there's this whole, there's lots of problems with that, right? Can you imagine it's like too many robots like walking around? There's another way to live forever, which is that you go into the cloud, but very much so where you're not, it's more like you're interacting all in a VR kind of way, in a virtual reality kind of way. So you're like living your life. In this one article that was a Fox News article, they're like, you can have 72 prostitutes or whatever, and I was like, "What?" It's like that.
Thanks, Fox News. I know,
it's like, of course, that's where you went with that. But the point is that like you can just do anything you want. It almost like being in a dream or something,
right?
But you live forever within the cloud.
Another comparison was they could go to the Sydney Opera House, or like.
You can just be transported.
You can do anything.
You can do anything you want. I don't know why Sydney Opera.
I know.
Like,
I know.
You can do anything. Like go to the Sydney.
Well, it was
Opera
like do prostitutes or the Sydney
or
Opera House.
I mean, you could
wow,
do both at the same
amazing.
time.
Technology.
So I don't know about all this.
I mean, here's the thing. It's going to happen. It's like how people are going to marry sex robots.
Sure.
Scientists are working very hard right now trying to figure out how to put our brains in the cloud, how to do android bodies.
This is such a Black Mirror episode.
I know.
So the thing about it, the thing with the cloud thing,
I don't understand it right now in my life. I cannot imagine. I know text messages that I sent 2 years ago all of a sudden started showing up on my computer because of that fucking cloud.
Oh yeah, it was just like, oops, I forgot to send you your messages.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's weird.
If anybody can write us at difficultwomenpodcast@gmail.com and explain the cloud, that would be much appreciated.
But also the thing to me about the cloud concept, where it's just a cloud, no body. Go for it. I mean, it doesn't affect me at all on Earth here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I don't have to deal with you at all. Like, so if you died and then were sent to the cloud or didn't die or whatever happens, I don't have to, it doesn't affect us on Earth at all. So, okay, I'm like kind of okay with that idea and concept. I'm not so sure I want to do that, but like at least it doesn't infringe upon us here. The thing about all these other life living forever things is certainly with the way things are going with the environment and stuff.
Right.
Do we really need 200-year-old people walking around still? Like we already have a population problem. So, you know what I mean? So that's where the cloud one was the one that was almost the most realistic to me or most logical in the long run. It's
almost like saving your scrapbook.
And yet you are, and yet you are the scrapbook.
Yeah.
In theory, however that works. So I don't know. So would you, I mean, is that, if you could live forever and you don't even have to have monkey testicles on your body, would you do it? And if so, which would be your preferred method?
No, I don't want to live forever. I think when it's my time and I want to go. It kind of freaks me out too of uploading everything to a cloud because that's nobody's business. They don't need to be seeing those sex messages and titty pics that I've been sending all these years.
Think about
you
that.
know, it really, really freaks me out. This woman, I was reading an article about this woman, like why she wanted to live forever. Because I was like, why? And she did make a very good point of like, if you live forever or, you know, prolong your life, then you can do more things. And she's like, I want to have several different lives within my life. Like maybe I want to be an actress for 20 years and then a doctor for 30 years and then a stay-at-home mother for another, you know, and just to have a full life of so many different colors or whatever. And I mean, I just try to live my life every day to the fullest. And
yeah, that brings up a good point though, because if you had this ability to live forever, you knew you could live forever,
time.
And you have the time,
right?
Where
what would you do differently?
What would be keeping you from like watching TV every day and wasting your time the way you do already? Like I think that the thing about death is it gives you it gives everything a heightened sense of, you know, direness. Like if you're going to get stuff done, you only have a certain amount of time to get it done, which I think also makes things feel more of a success too when it happens.
Right.
So I there's some sort of like ennui and things that set in when you think of this idea of just living forever, the boredom and the just what's the meaning of anything anymore if you can just do anything you want.
Right.
So I don't agree with that. I get it in theory on one level, but I think in reality it doesn't manifest that way. I think that also, who says it's so easy to just become an actress?
I know. I was like, bitch, please.
Yeah.
I would go to the moon though. You know, that's
sure, if
totally
you could wait
separate.
around to like do, but that's also assuming that everything on Earth goes fine.
Right. No,
Do you
the
know
Earth
what I'm
is
saying?
dying for
Like,
sure.
That's the other thing. So the thing that I kept thinking about when I was thinking about, so my short answer is no, I don't want to live forever. I do nothing about that as a.
I'd be so curious though to meet somebody who was like, yes, I'm dying to live forever.
Yeah. Well, there are people. Certainly they exist.
Yeah, they
and
want to.
And so much of this is coming from a fear of death.
I was about to say it's just fear based.
And part of my like spiritual side would make the argument that how do you know that things aren't better after you die?
Right.
So you're just preventing yourself from experiencing something better, you know? Right. Or if there's not, then you don't even know the difference. So, you know, although if it's hell, maybe it gets worse. I don't know, but I don't really believe in hell. But I was going to say the thing that kept coming up in my mind was, now again, assuming that this is all like physical, like letting your body live forever too, right? So then you just are accumulating humans on this planet, which is already going to be a problem because we are having so many planet problems. If we all started doing that, right? And we're like, oh, I'm going to live forever. I'm going to live forever. We would have to 100% stop having children. You could never have children again.
Right.
And so then you'd have the same goddamn boring billion people on this planet that you'd be interacting. It'd be the same people. Right. Like, how boring is that? And how it just stops, certainly it stops evolution. It stops anything interesting from happening. You know what I mean? Like, there's something about the idea of a new generation's coming. Right. There would be no new generations.
I think that we could pick out people that should live forever, maybe.
But that's like totally a problem.
Crazy.
That is, no, we can't do
Obama,
that.
You can live forever.
But that you can see why that's like such a moral problem.
It's terrible.
I mean, you can't, we can't
be elitist.
And that might be what happens in the end.
What
happens is moral dissolve. But But I just think
that's
that
terrifying.
if you think of it in a equal way where everybody has the opportunity,
then we're fucked.
Well, it's not even just fucked. It's like there's total stagnation.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
So nobody can have kids anymore. Kids are fun. I don't know. Even if you hate them, like there's like a good thing about having new people come. No one would have any new ideas really because our brains are limited in the ways that they are. You know, like everybody has like their way of thinking about things. Maybe they'd come up with a couple new things, but innovation like wouldn't really be a thing so much anymore.
Right.
Because everyone's just locked into their way of being. It's like new generations and new experiences,
new thoughts,
that cause like
waves
evolution.
of education. Yeah.
So my sort of feeling about this idea of living forever is, and no offense if you'd like to live forever, but like I think it's really selfish.
Yeah.
It's really, really selfish. And it really is about like you being afraid of death and has nothing to do with anything bettering it doesn't better the world in any way for you to stay on this planet for 700 years. Nothing good comes out of that particularly. And even someone like Stephen Hawking, who is like a genius, right? Even he has his experiences. So his even intelligence is limited by the generation he was born into and his experience, his life experience and all that. So
it's just capped at a certain point.
Yeah. And you need like new thoughts and you need new brain cells to like pop into existence to like come up with new things. So I'm not into it.
No.
What about the cloud? So you don't like the cloud because you don't want people to see your titty pics. Which I'm not even sure that's like, I don't think that's exactly how it works because I think it's more about your consciousness. I mean, I guess all of it gets uploaded. So
it's all up there. Yeah. No,
here's what I don't like about the cloud.
What?
I don't like the idea. So they're saying like, oh, you'll live forever in this cloud. And I think about this with the Apple cloud all the time. It's here forever. Everything's out in the cloud forever. There's some server or something.
Yeah, it's living
that it's coming
somewhere.
out of. Yeah.
Right.
So
it's not an actual cloud, although I did Google that.
Yeah. So just like a cloud.
How does this work? Is that Jesus?
Yeah. No, it's not. Apple is not Jesus.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, just to clarify. But they, like, somewhere there is something that is solid on this earth that is making the cloud work, right? And that would be the same for these companies. Like, you sell your mind to the company and they put you up in this cloud. And so even that is that even living forever? Because if something goes down, if the apocalypse happens on Earth, your cloud's done for anyway.
Right.
So, like, it's just not even a real concept.
Really is just fear-based of not knowing what is after death. And so then just scrambling to do whatever you can.
Right. But this idea of like living forever, it doesn't even work. That's not even a real thing to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
And then imagine that like you're in this cloud, right? This is a Black Mirror episode. You're in this cloud and then this evil corporation, which is like all of them, like buys the cloud from this company and then starts like in uploading other like demons or something into the cloud. And then you're stuck in this place and then you can't die even. You can't even die to escape it. That sounds like a nightmare. There's so many things that could go wrong in my opinion.
So what do you think these scientists should do? Stop researching?
I think if they're doing research to like, which I think most science is not about like living forever. Most of the science that's being done in this, again, is just for making people in their older age be more comfortable. And like, as we live longer, living to 104 doesn't bother me as long as, like we said, you can be living a comfortable life. Mm-hmm. So that's what a lot of that research is for. And it's like, okay, cool. No problem. Whatever. Mm-hmm. But I don't think this idea of like trying to live forever is worth pursuing. Mm-hmm. And even the truth be told, living to 200 or 150 and being in really, really good shape is also a problem for our planet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, sorry,
then we have
we just don't have enough room.
Yeah. Right.
You know?
Right.
And then the truth is we are going to end up having these like really, really creepy dystopian things where people get chosen or not chosen. And that's going to be, it's like Logan's Run or something.
Right.
You ever see Logan's Run?
No.
Where like they only can live to like, they're like, they have this like light on their hand.
Oh,
and then
God.
It turns off at a certain time and then they're pretty young. And then they just like murder you.
Is that why Logan was running?
Yes, that's exactly why he was running. He was like, I don't like this.
Like, I don't want to die.
Escapes the underground city. And then he goes up into not spoiler alert. So the movie was made in like 1970, whatever. But like he goes up into like the world and it's like it was like Earth, like regular Earth the whole time. And they end up in Washington, D.C. and there's like a guy with a lot of cats living in like the Capitol. You should watch the movie.
Good movie. Can't wait.
It's kind of an amazing movie, but.
Well, I think scientists should stop researching and trying to, figure out the cloud and focus in on the box jellyfish. Have you heard of this thing?
No, tell me.
There is a jellyfish out there in the sea that when under stress or pain, it starts to revert to, it reverses its aging until it goes back into its earliest stage. And then it starts to age forward again. And researchers call it the Benjamin Button jellyfish.
Weird.
But there's barely any funding for this jellyfish.
How long do they live? Like forever?
Yeah.
Does that just go on?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really say how long in this article.
You are saying you want to be a baby again.
No, I'm just saying that I bet that there's something in that jellyfish that I could put on my face.
Just like rubbing that jellyfish all over your face.
And it makes these little crow's feet go away.
I'll buy you a jellyfish for Christmas and you can rub it on your face.
I want the box jellyfish, the Benjamin Button jellyfish. But I mean, this is the only creature that actually reverts back to.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, me neither. I found it in this article. Yeah, and they're just not much funding in this. But if a rich billionaire wanted to invest money in that type of science, then I'm 100% for it.
Just so you're.
No. But scientists do really believe that there is something that we should be studying in this jellyfish because it reverts back to youth. That's the only creature on this earth that can be a certain age and then revert back.
No, I get the concept.
Yeah.
But then
there's something in there.
I mean, it's certainly interesting
that we should be researching.
It's certainly interesting.
But yes, I do truly believe that. It comes back
to the whole question though of like, so is that the goal is to just like live forever? You know what I mean? Because even studying that jelly, if you put the money into, I mean, I think there's a lot of other places we could be putting our money research wise that may not have anything to do with eternal youth. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yes.
Like,
feeding.
feeding
how to
the homeless
feed
or
the
whatever.
Yeah.
I have lots of things. But how to save the oceans and things like that too.
Yeah. Oxygen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to live forever. But no, I mean, I definitely think that's fascinating.
I think
would
it's
like to
fascinating.
know more
But
about it.
my point is that I really truly believe that there's probably a cream that we could be making.
So we can murder all these jellyfish and then
just,
use them
put
to
it on
look
my
better.
face. No,
I'm definitely into that's always
maybe
nice.
it's just the slime. Maybe the slime, you pull it out of the ocean. Here, I'm not a doctor or scientist, but you take the slime and then you put it on your face and then it Benjamin Buttons your face. And then all of a sudden.
Then you have a baby head.
Baby face.
You have a baby head and like an old man body.
You do baby feet. Why can't I do baby face?
Baby face, yeah. Baby feet. Baby foot's amazing. You should try it. If you haven't done that. Put this acid on your feet and it takes all the skin off of it. It's great.
Yeah, Katie did it twice in 1 week and then
don't do
couldn't
that.
walk.
That was a mistake. Don't do that.
Disgusting.
It's like, I could do it twice.
Well, do you know also some rich billionaires take younger people's blood and infuse it in themselves?
Oh yeah, and that's definitely problematic.
That's gross and weird. But they think
That's
that
like
it
a
gives.
thing. I feel like that's an ancient concept though too.
Yeah,
But I think that they
Well-
were saying that it does work a little. Not to encourage anyone to take anyone else's blood.
Well, there was a blood countess, and she. Let's see. She was the blood countess Bathory, and she was rumored to have killed young peasant girls
this
and then
sounds familiar.
bathed in their blood.
I think
And that
bathing
she
in it was
believed-
probably a waste of that blood. She infused into her body,
Probably.
not
You-
just don't just swim in it. Is that working? No.
Because apparently she hit a peasant girl and then the blood got on her hands and she swore that the wrinkles on her hands went away. And so she was
they
like,
were
well, if
covered
I
in
could
blood.
do that, then I'll just bathe in it. And so she murdered just her whole town. But it was all just rumored. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Another difficult
hundreds of
woman
years
just
ago.
being
Difficult
thrown
woman.
under the bus.
Thrown under the bus. And then also drinking a potion made with menstrual blood is to.
Oh yes, I've heard this one before.
You would nope. I don't. Nope.
That's what I do every month. I just drink
Okay,
that.
but that's why you have a diva cup.
That's why I look so young.
I mean, it's great. I mean, this isn't going away. People will always
It's
want
not going
to
away.
live
No.
forever.
And I get it. It's not that I don't. It's not that I'm not afraid of death or whatever. I think we're all to some degree. Or it's existential.
I'm just
problem.
so curious of what happens after. I'm not afraid, and I think maybe that's because of my faith or how I was raised or whatever. But I'm not afraid to die. Knock on wood.
I was gonna say,
knock on wood.
What is that saying that there's no atheists in a foxhole?
Oh,
With that idea that if when you're in war,
Right.
everybody's praying to live.
That's true.
So that's the
true.
only thing.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I want to live for sure, but I'm not one to pay $200,000 to freeze my body.
I think that the other thing too is just on a practical level, with the freezing and stuff. I just don't trust that these companies can really do what they're saying that they can do, and I think to some degree it feels like they're preying on people's insecurities and stuff, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
And again with the cloud, it's like this idea that you're like, oh, you're gonna live forever in this cloud. First of all, we don't know what that feels like, and you'll never really be able to figure. I mean, I guess can you email people in the cloud? But how do you know that they're really in the cloud? What if it becomes this whole big they tell you that they're uploading you to the cloud, but really they have some AI thing that's not you, responding as if it's you. You know what I mean?
Genius.
This seems to be Genius is a really
Scam
immoral,
artist.
scammy thing, but I just don't buy it. I don't know. I'm too much of a. I don't know. I'm not into it. I don't like this idea. It creeps me out too much. I'm gonna have nightmares for the rest of my life.
Oh, that's great. Our listeners now will too, because this is such a creepy, weird episode of Black Mirror.
Well, does anybody? We'd be curious to know if you have any interest in living forever, and would you pay $100,000 or wear monkey balls on your face? I don't know.
I think this is the best holiday episode.
It's very. I mean, talk about someone that's lived forever. Santa. Santa's been cryogenically frozen and revived.
That's why he lives in the North Pole.
Oh, it's true. It's so cold up there. It just keeps them real cold. That's probably true. He probably just gets into a freezer, and then the elves pry him out every December 1st, give him some time to warm up a little. Get ready.
That's why he has to fly around.
Yep.
Dethaw and then go back to
He's got to go back.
getting frozen.
So he's only technically he's probably 30
yeah, Santa.
or whatever. How long has Santa been around? 200? I guess that's maybe my theory's been debunked.
You debunked it yourself.
I know. It happens. It happens.
Oh God,
Oh.
that's amazing. Well, I'm glad we did this episode. Here's the moral of the story. Go out there, folks. Live your life to the fucking fullest.
And don't
every day.
get frozen.
And don't get frozen.
Don't do it.
Don't do
or
it.
do whatever you want.
Listen,
you know what? Do what
if you want to pay $200,000 to freeze your body, I say don't. Invest it in our Patreon.
I think that that's an excellent idea.
Yeah, join us on Patreon, you guys. Go to patreon.com/reformed whores. Support your local
Horse.
Wait, did you see that Google? Sorry, another weird thing. Google now like sends you who's been searching for you or whatever, and so they sent us an email yesterday of like the breakdown of who's Googling us. It literally was like whores, cute whores, sexy whores. This is what people are Googling, and then they find Reformed Whores, our musical comedy
Our fan
feminist
base
band.
is perfect. That's how we get our fan base.
Yeah.
We trick them. We trick
Exactly.
them into
Got
thinking
'em.
they're getting something different.
Yeah.
Just
Anyway,
like
I love that. Anyway, so Google whores or go to our website, reformedwhores.com. Check out our next shows, purchase some merch. You know,
Live your life. Have a good time. Send us an email.
wear a dick shirt home for
Buy a
Christmas.
dick shirt and wear it.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Love you guys.
Save the squid. What is it?
Jellyfish.
All right. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Reel 'em in real slow and nice and give some time to your man. And pretty soon, I guarantee you'll have me from the palm of your hand.
But if after a beer or two you call the guy you just met, watch out, girl, 'cause I'm pretty sure you're gonna say something you'll regret. Don't drunk down when you come home late. Don't call him in an inebriated state. Don't text him with a booty call. Don't call and say,
Andy, where are you? I'm here in your house, and you're not here. Why? Why don't you call me back? Oh, you know what? Never mind. I'll just see you when you get home.
just don't. If you get the urge to type those